Wanted to talk today about local lead generation. And, if you're either a home improvement contractor, a lawyer, an association, one thing that I've been really realizing just, going and doing a couple of searches and just talking to people is, people don't really understand how Facebook and Instagram have ways to retarget people just by utilizing the pixel. The pixel is so super powerful, and pretty much a majority of sites that I've been to, and I love to have anyone just throw out some other options in the comments. I can definitely do an analysis on your site as well. But a lot of sites just don't have the Facebook pixel, so I wanted to show a couple really quick tips and tricks on what can be done to actually see if your site has this Facebook pixel and what you can do with it, and also like how you can create audiences with it. But before I really go into that, it's like it's almost like leaving people at your front door when you're not utilizing this piece of technology that's quite frankly free from Facebook. You don't need to be running ads yet. You might be planning on running ads later. It might be, a couple months down the line in your roadmap, or you might have not even thought about running, Facebook or Instagram or even Google remarketing ads. So, with that being said, when you're utilizing the pixel, and there's, just so everyone knows what a pixel is, it's basically a tracking code that lives on your website. You'll get that information from Facebook. You'll install that onto your website, and then anyone that ever has been to your site, maybe it's an existing customer already, someone that just somehow stumbled on your site, you can then retarget them or show a video or an image based ad to try to get them to come back to your site and hopefully acquire a lead or maybe even do a sale out of it. So depending on the type of business you're in, it's useful, but it's definitely something that every site should be utilizing. So I'm going to actually move over to the computer and kind of go into a little bit more detail and actually just kind of pull some sites and see what people are utilizing, and then how to actually install the pixel as well. So again, I'm really talking to businesses that are local in the DC area, but it has nothing to do with utilizing the pixel. I mean, you can be anywhere and still use the Facebook pixel. So a couple of things that you guys should really look into to really see if your website even has the Facebook pixel as well as even the Google pixel. And you can go, if you're using Chrome, that's probably the best way of doing this. And you are going to be typing in Facebook extension, and you'll install pixel extension, really. And I can drop some of these links in if necessary after. But yeah, this guy right here, it's Facebook Pixel Helper. I already have it installed on mine, but it's a very simple thing for you to add. And the other one that you probably want to just have at the same time is the Google tracking extension for Chrome. And it's called the Tag Assistant. It's this guy right here, and you can install that as well. This computer actually does not have it, so we'll go ahead and install it. And we can show how both of these guys work. So I'm going to add that one to Chrome. Another really good extension to use, and anyway, if you're looking at competitors or whatever you're really looking to do, you can actually use this other really cool extension called the Built With Chrome extension. And it's really powerful. I've already had this one installed, but it's, again, really simple. It's just a one-click install for your Chrome. And once you have it all installed, we'll start with that Built With one. So we're utilizing this local home improvement contractor that is pretty well known. And, when you hit that little built with extension, you'll see everything that these guys have been utilizing. So, that they have Facebook Signal, they have Google Analytics, Google Optimize 360. So, these guys at least are knowing what they're doing, at least from a certain point of view. When we go into the Facebook pixel, though, what you're going to do is you're going to click on that little guy right there. It's got a little box with 2 brackets around it. And you'll see that this one does not have any pixels found on it. So again, it's really simple. All you're doing is you're just clicking on the extension that you just added onto your Chrome browser. And you can see that there is no pixel found on here. Another way to really just double check on it is if you're on Chrome, you can go to View and Developer. And you can go to Source. And you can use, if you're an Apple user, you're using Command F. If you are a Windows user, you're using a Control F, basically. You're doing your find. And you are looking for Facebook Pixel. So when I type in Facebook here, I can see that these guys have the icons. But other than that, they aren't utilizing a Facebook Pixel. So again, just to kind of show you the code, what the code was finding was this little icon right here for Facebook, but that's pretty much it. So when you log into your Facebook account, and I'm going to actually just log in real quick to my own personal Facebook, and you'll want to do a couple things to make sure that you actually can set yourself up correctly. So the first thing is you're going to hit that little drop down here, and you'll want to see if your business has a business manager. And again, even if you're not planning on spending money right now, definitely just set up the business manager and set the pixel up so you can target people later. Because rule of thumb is retargeting people is probably about a nickel on the dollar, because you're telling Facebook to go only show my image or video ad to only the people that have been to my website. So if you don't have a business manager, it's pretty simple for you to do. You can go to facebook.com/business manager and set one up. I'm not going to do that right now because I have it. But if you have not utilized the pixel, you might have not actually set up the business manager. And that is different than your page. A lot of people say, I already have a Facebook page up. Well, that's different than your business manager. You're not running dollars. You're not running ads through your page. If you are, you're actually running it through a personal ad account, and you can't actually create audiences, and it's just not, advisable. So create a business manager. When you're going to your business manager, after you have it created, and I'm just going to pull up someone's ad manager as an example, you're going to click on this hamburger menu. And when you click on the hamburger menu, you're going to go to Pixels. And when you go to Pixels, you will be able to see, in this case, we're going to see some of the data already, but what you're going to hit is you're going to hit add a new data source. And a new data source in this case is going to be a website. So you're going to hit add new data source. And you'll then get a pop-up that looks very similar to this, where you can email the instructions. If you have a developer you're already working with, you can just send them the instructions. You can actually manually add it. Or if you're using any type of content management system, whether it's Squarespace, WordPress, Shopify, whatever, I'm just reading it strictly right from Facebook, you can install it. And these are all your different options here. You got HubSpot. Anything that you're thinking of, you can actually just connect it to. But once you have that set up, you'll be able to basically pick up all of the data from anyone that's ever been to your site. So you can see that's kind of right here. This particular website, this landing page has had 577 views. It's picked up data the last 42 minutes. and you can see page views, purchases, leads. You can set up the pixel for anything, and this is literally for the last 7 days. So another rule of thumb is you can remarket people for the past 6 months. But in general, you're not going to be able to see the stats for anything more than 30 days. So there's not any search criteria for anything past 30 days, but you can remarket for the past 6 months. So after you install your pixel, you can then take these 522 people and retarget them. So I'm actually going to click back on this hamburger menu and go here to audiences. None of this so far is something you need to spend money on, which is great for any smaller business. But again, creating the audiences is a good first step, even for future-proofing and really road mapping your marketing plan. And you can create an audience. I'm going to go ahead and create a whole new one. You can do a custom audience, a lookalike audience, or a saved audience. And when you do a custom audience, that's literally where it's being picked up from the pixel. So you can see where it says right here, where it says use your sources. You're going to hit website traffic. And once you hit website traffic, it will then find the pixel that you already installed. And as you can see right here. And again, you can kind of target everyone for the past 30 days. And you're going to name it, and you're going to create a whole audience that way. So that's one piece that you can do with the pixel. Again, very powerful, because these are people that you might have not actually thought were going to do anything with you. And, again, you're able to retarget them and try to reel them in to either, essentially buy into your service or your product. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create an audience here. And just wanted to show you how powerful this is just to even have set up. So I'm just going to name this as a test. And if this is, especially for a local business, this is really powerful, because I can go and people who live in a specific location or recently were located in this location. So let's just say they're traveling. So you can do people traveling into a certain location if you want. It really just depends on your business. So again, anyone that's trying to get a local lead, you probably want them to be living in the location you're targeting. You can set your age. So I'm just going to say 35 to 64. If you go to 65 plus, that basically can go up to 100 or whatever. There is no other options that Facebook has. So I like keeping it at 64, so you can kind of at least set a window. Set some actual barriers to your parameter there, and then you can target male versus female. You can go into English. Facebook does revert or keep kind of English as the main, so you don't really need to be typing in English here in general, unless you're specifically focusing on it. So I don't think it's really necessary. But what's really powerful is putting in your location with Washington, D.C. And you can see that there's a 25-mile radius here. So that's pretty good setup. It doesn't matter really how you guys want to set this up in general. I mean, again, this works for any business anywhere in the location that you want to focus on. But you can then go in and go into demographics and, target people by their education, by how much money they make, because Facebook does have all that data. So let's just say we want to do the top 10%. So again, for that case remodeling company, and that's what I'm really working on right now, just because we saw that they don't have a pixel. So I'm creating an audience specifically that might be their target audience in general. So maybe they're targeting people that, are the top 10%. You can go into life events here. So you can target people with a new job, a newlywed, if you want to focus on that. The options are pretty much all available to you. So you could do home improvement, which would probably be a good one for this particular prospect or this company that we're working on right now. You can do design. Again, you can create an audience for a lot of different things. And once you've created that, it takes about 3 business days to actually let Facebook go in and populate. And it's going to literally go in and find anyone in their population, anyone that has a Facebook account, as well as Instagram, and pick their profiles so you can then go and create ads around it. So that's why the pixel is extremely powerful. You can create audiences around it. You can actually retarget from a Google perspective as well. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So that's pretty much the power and the capability of a Facebook pixel. You can do a lot with it. If anyone has any questions on installing the plugins that are pretty much readily available, they're all really straightforward to use. Definitely drop a comment or shoot me a message, and just thoroughly check to make sure that you have your Facebook pixel installed and your Google Pixel installed, and you can really utilize it again right away if you want to start creating some ads around it, or just have it set up and let it just kind of snowball and create an audience of however many people have actually been to your site. So it's not something you need to be utilizing right away, but if you don't have it installed, you're never going to be able to retarget these people again. So it's definitely a double-edged sword, and it's something that I'd recommend having installed. Next time around, I'm going to actually show how to use Google Tag Manager to even improve and really make your website even more powerful, because you can efficiently install more code in. My name is Samad Safadin, and you can follow me on my LinkedIn page, my YouTube, and pretty much anywhere that this video shows.